Alright, the experiment that we're going to be doing right now is streaking split plates. I'm going to go briefly on the materials that we have, okay? Right now I have a marker, which is the thick marker, and a fine marker. I'll tell you guys what it is and what it's used for down the road. We have the matches, we have the alcohol burner. As you can see, I'm also giving those two some space. Be organized when it's called for safety, okay? We have two inoculant loops. I got one of my matches already out. I have a ruler. I have the cultures that I'm going to be working with, which is E. coli and Enterobacter cultures. These cultures are found in the refrigerator from the jar, or not the jar, but the caddy that is for the all cultures. And I also have my agar plate, which is T soil. So C and D, which is E. coli and Enterobacter, are gram-negative bacteria, which belongs on T soil agar plate. And as you can see right here, this is going to be the end product on how the cultural should actually look, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to burn my alcohol burner, right? Get it burning for myself. Go here. I'm going to keep that there, right there. I'm going to use my agar plate and I'm going to but I'm going to use my ruler and my marker to make a whole line across from the whole plate and make sure that it's on the agar side, okay? Once I do that, I'm gonna write the letters. I'm gonna have a C and I'm gonna have a D, just like that, okay? Once I do that, the thick marker is now done. We don't need that anymore. Get the fine marker, okay? The fine marker, we're gonna have to place our initials. We need our initials, which is AF, which is me, and the date that is actually being done, okay? And you do not erase anything else. You just place that date and the initials and keep the other information on there for, past purposes. After I do that, I'm gonna burn my inoculant loops. I'm gonna burn both my inoculant loops. For sure, the top, I'm gonna burn orange, okay? For sure. Now, the other edges, I'm just gonna go through the flame, like so. Because that's not the areas that we're gonna be touching with. The top tips of the inoculant loops are the ones that we're going to be using the most, okay? Now I'm using two inoculant loops because I'm working with two cultures, which is two bacteria, okay? I'm just going to let that cool off here. Now you have to decide to yourself which bacteria you're going to work with first. Are you going to work with the side of C, or are you going to work with the side of D? Any case, I'm going to work with C, okay? Now I cool that off. I'm going to bring my alcohol burner closer because I'm going to show you guys a trick. Is that as you working with cultures and you're going to start to streak, okay? You see that the flame is flying up, right? The purpose is why we can do this way is because the flame is flying up, which means bacteria is not going to fall down on your culture. So you're going to easily open your culture up and make sure the culture is close to the alcohol burner, okay? Gonna burn my loop again. As I'm burning my loop, I'm gonna let it cool off like this, right? And I'm looking at my culture plate, E. coli, and I'm gonna tell myself which side do I want to streak, and I see a good side to streak from. Once I streak, I'm gonna get one good streak. But before that, you wanna make sure you touch the loop at the end of the agar so you don't hear a sizzling sound, which means it's not hot. But if you do hear a sizzling sign, it means it is hot. If you don't, you're okay to streak, right? As you guys can see, I picked up my agar, my culture agar plate coming upward, so there's no bacteria that can get inside of it. I'm gonna do one good streak, and I'm done, all right? From there, I'm gonna move my culture plate. I'm gonna flip over my agar plate here, make sure that it's close to the bacteria burner, and I'm going to give it a good streak within the letters, length and width, okay? You do not want to touch the edges. You do not want to go close to the black line. Now the protocol might say use a swab and alcohol, okay, to go across the black line. Do not do that because depending on the individual, they might have too much alcohol, which will make it which would have too much alcohol in the plate. Okay, so I'm done with one. Place that over there. Get my other Nike Lane loop. Let it cool off. Check my culture, and the culture I'm using now is Enterobacter. Look for a good streak. Enterobacter is letter D. I'm checking the loop and make sure that it's not hot. No sizzling sound. I'm gonna grab my streak. Oh, that's not good enough. I'm gonna do it one more time. There we go. And again, I'm gonna streak. Length and width of the letter. Burn my Nike Lane loop. Okay, place that there. At this point, I've streaked both of my cultures onto my agar plate. This agar plate goes into the incubator for about 2 days, 24 hours. Okay. As you are using your cultures, you're gonna place these cultures back into the refrigerator in its designated caddy, and make sure that you parafilm both of the cultures. All right, and that is how you make a streaking split plate.